congratulations.
Oh, wow.
Thought it was a Monday, but maybe not.
I know we've got Sigich tonight.
Sigich and Trimble.
Trimble? Okay.
Yeah. I told Sigich there's a fan here who's keeping win-loss records every time Sigich. He's like, really? What's my record? I'm like, it's like 1 and something. He's like, really? I'm like,
gosh.
Like, yeah.
I actually think I know who.
Keeper's Corner podcast.
Oh, yeah, it's Matt. It's Matt.
Yeah.
Good old Matt. I love Matt.
Like, really? Like, yep.
Yeah. I actually just put my Diapolito ballot in.
I did too.
What'd you vote for?
I voted for Trimble.
I voted for Osmanovic.
He was good. He was good.
The game I saw him here, I thought he managed it exceptionally well.
We had him last week with Butler. No, I thought he was good.
He's very good.
Yep.
Guy gets it.
Yep. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It'll be interesting to see how people vote. We'll see if any coaches vote or whether, like, we're passing on this. It'll be the broadcasters who decide it. Yeah.
All of a sudden, all the GMs and owners are like, why didn't you vote?
Oh, well, you had your choice or your chance.
Yeah, I had a misplaced vote cost somebody an award this year.
Yeah.
I heard about it.
I've gotten so much from the Comets. One of the votes coming out, one of the awards coming out. I'm like, I can tell you what the league told me, but I have no idea how people are going to vote.
I actually didn't vote for the league awards this year.
You didn't get a vote. So what they did is they gave it, well, they gave each team 2.
Yeah.
And then the league announcers. So I only got it because I did the 10 for 10 show. Otherwise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they didn't, before they'd given it to.
Tommy was asking me, he's like, so are you going to, and I was like.
Yep. No, they did it differently.
Okay, I guess we're
close. Huh?
Starting to get into a holding pattern here. 2 to go. Probably should shut us off. You are looking live at the city of Utica, New York, Welcome to the MASL Ron Newman Cup playoffs. The Major Arena Soccer League is proud to welcome all of you to MASL Soccer on CBS Sports Golazo Network. The Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. Our venue tonight, it's Eastern Conference Semifinal Game 2. The Kansas City Comets in town to take on Utica City FC in a rematch from last year's playoffs. My name is Ray Biggs. He's Eric Bergrud. Glad to have you along for the ride with us this evening, and what a ride it should be. If these walls could talk in over 60 years of history, they'll tell you some pretty spectacular stories. We'll have another chapter here tonight, along with another chapter in this series. Game 1 in overtime went the way of Kansas City by a 5-4 score.
Well, I was there calling the game in Kansas City. Kansas City got up early lead like they had previously in the year. Utica City finds a way to win in the second half. They tied at 4-4. Comets found the game winner in overtime on a Nacho Flores goal. Great entry pass from Leo Acosta. Ricochet off of Coughlin, and Nacho, the captain, who became captain mid-season, Ray, became the hero for the Kansas City Comets in game 1. But this is a different atmosphere, different vibe here in Utica.
And the only time that Kansas City was here earlier this season, late January, the 28th to be exact, it was a 7-3 Utica City FC win. However, Keaton Woods, Leo Gibson, 2 multi-goal scorers, 1 for each side. They are not factors tonight. The former, a scratch, the latter has retired. And so it sets the stage for some impactful players tonight, and we saw a pretty impactful performance in game 1 from Kelvin Oliveira, the new signee. His debut in the playoffs was electric.
He's an odds-on favorite to be an MVP finalist, if not winner, next season. The goals he scored, terrific. He can shoot with both feet. We saw him go left on this set piece across his body. Scored his second goal across. Neto coming the other way after turning potentially Defender of the Year Robert Palmer on that one. A terrific assist, too, on Gordy Gerson's goal. He showed us everything, and I think I know the Comets will adjust based on what they saw from Oliveira in game 1.
I do want to stand and correct it on myself here. Keaton Woods will be playing tonight for Utica City FC. As we get ready to step away for our national anthem, opening kickoff next on CBS Sports Golazo Network. And with that, we get ready to rock and roll. It's Eastern Conference Semifinal Game 2, Utica and Kansas City. Utica the 2 seed, Kansas City the 3. The winner will take on Milwaukee for the Eastern Conference Championship. But the key is, it's a series format, Eric. Explain to us how this all works.
It's not a new concept. This series format dates back to the 1970s and 80s in the North American Soccer League. Each team gets a full game at home. If each team has won one game, we will play a 15-minute knockout game 10 minutes after the conclusion of Game 2. And so everybody watch on CBS Sports Golazo, this could be an entertaining evening, not just with the drama in Game 2, but a potential knockout Game 3.
Entertaining is a good word, Eric, because that segues perfectly into my next talking point here. Something I know you love very, very much about this great game, goalkeeping. It's Andrew Coughlin and Nicola Neto tonight. Neto makes his 14th career playoff start, while for Andrew Coughlin, in all competitions, his 150th start. No better stage to have it than right here, right now.
Let's start with the visiting goalkeeper. Neto is tied for second in Kansas City indoor soccer history in terms of playoff wins, so he brings that experience there. Coughlin, a lot of big game experience too, and what I like about Coughlin's game, and we saw this in Game 1, once he gets the ball, he wants to start the transition game for UCFC. And so the two keys of the game for me, Ray, that I'm going to be looking at here, one, who wins the transition game, because that is how UCFC has broken down Kansas City this season and last season. But also I'm going to look at when both goalkeepers have the ball, when the ball's in the defensive third, which team presses better, because I think Kansas City did a better job on the press than UCFC did in Game 1. You know that both coaching staffs have made adjustments coming into this game. I think it's going to be great, whether this is your 500th indoor soccer game or your first indoor soccer game. There's going to be a lot to watch tonight on CBS Sports Golazo.
And you know what? Maybe you are seeing this game tonight and you want to participate yourself and maybe become a pro. Well, the MASL Combine is a great way to do that. It's headed to sunny San Diego, California. If you think you have what it takes to be the next star in the MASL, head to MASLsoccer.com to sign up to receive further details. Of course, the Combine and Draft last year held here in Utica, and what a turnout it was. Some impactful signings, including Emmanuel Belliard for Utica City FC, one of the great players that came out of that draft.
What a terrific facility. I got to tour this today. Not just where the Combine took place, the practice fields, and then this beautiful venue here. It's a great experience for indoor soccer, from behind the scenes to game time, and we're about to get underway here.
The leading scorer, Zach Raggett, with 48 regular season points. He's got an assist in these playoffs. The captain will kick it off for KC. We are up and going. It's Game 2. Downfield left corner for Palmer, the native of Jamaica. It rattles right into the hands of Andrew Coughlin. Coughlin tonight making career playoff start, number 11, to go with that 150 career mark in all competitions. Nelson Santana, who's seen a lot of competitions over the years, multiple-time champion. His back heel lands at center for Nacho Flores. Andreos down the left wing. Palmer dangles to the middle again. Turns it back to the point for Van de Griff, former MASL Defender of the Year 2 years ago with the Florida Tropics organization. Little chip there from the top end of the box by Marquez. And that will be smothered by Coughlin.
Marquez and Santana had quite the battle earlier in Kansas City. And not so much in Game 1 of the playoffs, definitely in the regular season. It's going to be interesting to see how Utica City battles with that huge target player for Kansas City.
Nacho Flores, Ignacio Flores. They call him Nacho. That's what sits across the back of the jersey. The overtime hero in Game 1. He leads the way forward to set up an opportunity for Marquez, who hammered it into the back of the net. With 13:47 left in the first quarter, there is a Utica City player down the box. That is Gio Alves. And he is back up to his feet.
Watch on the replay. The whistle blew beforehand. Lennis there dragged on the shin of Alves. Whistle before the shot came in. Still 0-0.
Yeah, I figured as much. There was some intervention by the officials. There was a whole lot of not celebrating from Kansas City. And the whistle coming in prior would be exactly why. Kelvin Oliveira steps in, rattles one off the corner boards, looking for the one-time finish from Gordy Gerson, but to no avail in transition. Utica can reset from there. Isak Soma starts the swing. NDI entry pass. They look for Kelvin. It was bumped away by Neto. Kept alive by Isak Soma. Gerson Tries to angle it down low. That one is broken up, and here come the Comets. Long stretch out pass as they go looking for Souza. Souza backed down by Mo NDI. NDI, previously a member of the Empire Strikers out in the Inland Empire out by Los Angeles. Also has had a stint with St. Louis among his other MASL stops.
And he and Berto Palmer were teammates in Empire.
Palmer having an awesome season, especially in terms of blocked shots. That's where he really shines, but make no mistake, this is a guy that can score too.
You've seen that here at Utica, haven't you, Ray?
Yes, I have. A certain game from the 2019-20 season seems to come to mind there.
What you call the Casey masterpiece. Where'd you come up with that one?
Barbecue sauce.
That's good.
Ronaldinho on the counterattack. The former Boston College Eagle, he got upended by Acosta.
All shoulder, though, and Ryan Sigich, head referee, wanted fans to know that, wanted players to know that. No foul.
And Ronaldinho will pick up the foul. Full name Ronaldinho Diniz, out of Brockton, Massachusetts. In the matchup on March 10th, he had a goal and an assist. A breakout season for Ronaldinho, 29 points to the better over last year. He had 31 in the regular season this year.
And he's key to that transition game we were talking about. Both teams want to move the ball fast, and here come the Comets the other way.
Takeaway, Marquez. Comets turned away earlier. Shot taken by Souza. That's high. It will pinball into the hands of Coughlin. Coughlin, 2 collegiate stops for the Utica keeper, Canisius and Syracuse. Bit speculative there from Souza. And Utica will once again start the build-up here in front of their raucous home side.
Once you hear that Utica cheer going, the blood starts getting you all excited here, and I can only imagine what it's like for the UCFC players to know they have this raucous crowd behind them.
Coughlin, downfield one-on-one matchup. They're playing a little target ball here with Bond. Bond tries to turn to the middle, and that is a terrific defensive play to pry that back to center by Vandergriff. Got leverage and just played through the body to get that back to center. Coming up on 4 minutes played in this first quarter, we have no score. Game 2, Eastern Conference semifinals. Ignacio Flores in a crowd here, needs to find help, uses the ball to find an outlet, and that's Souza. Neto out to center. Santana pounces on it. Santana, the ageless wonder, playing this great game well into his 40s. And he'll transition ahead along with Roberts. Roberts swings that to Bond. Neto with the shin save.
Some purists don't like the way Neto plays, but kick save and a beauty is part of his repartee.
Fernandez currently on the field and with the ball. He had the overtime winner in the first meeting of the season between these two sides. 7-6 was the final down in KC Mo. Zach Reggett had 2 goals in that game.
Coughlin's going to hold and reset, and we'll see if the Comets press here.
The winner, a 2-goal performance, by the way, that capped off for Steven Fernandez. Up in the attacking third, the acting captain Hundelt misses wide. Gio Alves chases it, creates another rebound. It rattles into the box. Gio Alves, Ronaldinho shoots and scores! His first of the playoffs, and Utica has the early lead.
Well, we're going to see on the replay, Kansas City defense was scrambling. Good wide pass to Ronaldinho, and he didn't hit it with power, he hit it with placement. Ball works its way across to him, and he just touches a top shelf. Nothing Neto could do because Neto was going down. Good, well-earned goal by the home team. 1-0 lead for UCFC.
First of the playoffs and 20th of the year in all competitions for Ronaldinho.
And UCFC needed this because they needed to get a little bit of the pressure off, get the early goal, get the fans all excited, put the pressure on Kansas City.
Upended at center. Down to his rear end there was Rafa Godoy, former Rochester Lancer. There's a legacy name for you if you've been involved in indoor soccer for a while. Our good friend Soccer Sam out to the west.
Had a nice chat with him. He was part of our 10 for 10 series of interviews of leaders throughout the Major Arena Soccer League. Soccer Sam, an absolute legend and somebody really committed to the sport.
Brushed off the side of the foot of Soma. All the way downfield, a one-on-one battle. It's punched away by Neto. NDI. Great distribution down the right side. Sliding cross there by Gordy Gerson. And that's played from off the boards and back forward by Nacho Flores. Ignacio, or rather, excuse me, that's Michael Lennis who played that forward.
Something I'm noticing on both teams, they're leaving an attacker forward looking to score a goal off the transition. We'll see which team this helps more. Right now, things are looking good for Utica. They want to play more of a transition game.
Leo Acosta hinges it, now receives it off the return pass. Acosta got behind Hundelt a bit, got the shot off. Coughlin able to stonewall that on the short side. And KC will reset. Knifed back downfield, geometrically off the corner boards. Out there marking right now is Mo Ndi. Reget scores! We are all tied up at 1 with 7:53 to go in the first quarter. And Zach Reget has his first goal of the playoffs.
Well, and a good turn there. His mom's hosting a watch party in Kenosha, Wisconsin tonight. Andrew Coughlin absolutely is going to want this back. Deep one-way cut back, and I don't know that Coughlin saw this. A little bit of a screen.
We'll be right back, going to break here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. It's 1-1 between Utica and Kansas City. Major Arena Soccer League Ron Newman Cup Conference semifinal action here tonight. Kansas City leads the series 1-0. Utica trying to pull the series level. But right now our score is level thanks to the Kansas City Comets' Zach Reget. Reget squaring up the score. The Utica goal was Ronaldinho Diniz from Gio Alves at 5:23. And Utica looking to retake the lead. Then and there, Calvin Oliveira shoots it over the crossbar. Pretty vicious left-footed strike there.
Great pass, though, for Fernandez, and they're starting to get some rhythm and chemistry together, Ray.
Back to midfield and contested. Kansas City showing some momentum. Fernandez will stop that in its tracks just above the third line. Wanalava out through midfield. Kelvin shoots that off the crossbar.
Did you happen to notice there it was 2 on the goalkeeper? And so Utica very intentionally are leaving guys forward, and Kansas City needs to be paying closer attention and not get sucked up on their transition game, because it will come to beat them.
Once again, battled for here in front of the bench area. Getting free is Marquez. Banks that back to the point. Keaton Woods will get called for the foul on the collision with Acosta.
Good opportunity here for the Kansas City Comets. We'll take a look at the replay. Pass to Acosta, took a step, simple foul. Free kick Kansas City. Reggett could shoot this, more likely Nacho's going to look to go inside.
To the interior, a little turnaround, and Coughlin turns away Marquez. Turnover on the restart of the flow of play forward by Utica City. Kansas City back on it here.
But you see how Coughlin wants to get rid of the ball right away, just bounced off a Comets defender.
The setup for Flores led astray. Flores keeps it alive. Sharp angle try goes off the boards.
Good block.
Marquez's opportunity was led well wide of the cage and into the far corner, and it ultimately lands on the top of the goal frame. 6:21 left here in the first quarter. And we've talked a lot about different Utica players tonight that are here. However, the bigger story may be who is not here. Top two scorers, Nilton De Andrade, Frank Tayu, both out on international duty with the U.S. national futsal team, and they're accompanied by head coach Everton Moreira. Bond scores! He announces that he's in the building tonight.
Take a look at the replay. Fantastic entry pass. First save there by Neto. Nothing he could do, and the ball just trickles over him. But look at this pass that came in. Right where you want to get him. Left turn into the goalkeeper. Count at 2-1 UCFC.
6:06 left, first quarter. 2-1 Utica leading Kansas City. As Taylor Walter Bond puts his team in front. Bond, no stranger to big playoff performances. He had 5 points in last year's playoffs.
Well, there's some familiarity because Bond and Reggett and Vandergriff were all teammates together. And so you start getting in a series like this where you know some of the tendencies. The big X factor is Oliveira. This is his first game here at home at the Adirondack Back Center. So a great opportunity for the home fans to see what he is all about in person.
2-1, City leading the Comets. Oliveira, beautiful pass to Hundelt. Neto makes a great point-blank save on the second-year City man, Dylan Hundelt.
Once again, Oliveira, and you can't avoid defending him, but you have to be really careful because he'll lay off a great ball like he did that time to Hundelt.
Floating back heel, that finds Roberts. Roberts tries to juggle to the middle with the overhead to no avail. That's chased away to the boards, but Roberts, the former Binghamton Bearcat, pounces on it. D1 player out of the Syracuse area, now a veteran with this Utica side, having maybe the most enjoyable season of his career offensively.
Frantic pace of this game. We're 10 minutes in, 3 goals, but there could have been more. Goalkeeping has been strong on both sides.
I know how much you love that word, goalkeeping.
I've paced myself so far, Ray. This is your house. I'm a guest in your house, so I'm not taking over here. You can say all the goalkeeping you want.
You've been a great house guest so far, Eric. I got to tell you that.
Well, it's because there's blue turf in Kansas City, blue turf here at Utica. I feel at home, Ray.
NDI in a one-on-one battle. Marquez trying to get up on Coughlin there. Marquez angles it. A battle in front, and Coughlin rips that out of the air to deny the attempt for Holloman.
And immediately 3 Utica City players move upfield.
Bond looking for another. That was blocked. He turns to the middle to find the ball. Holloman pried it away. Sama, Bond with the header, he scores! Taylor Walter Bond has already tied his goal total from last year's playoffs. And it's a 3-1 Utica lead.
Once again, the transition game. Soma, great pass, and a little cheeky header, and Neto could just only watch it go over him. Look at that. Just like they practiced it next door at the training field.
Straight out of the training ground for sure. And Utica pulls 2 goals clear of Kansas City. The energy in this building electric, just as it was less than 24 hours ago when the United States and Canada matched up in the IIHF Women's World Championship.
Good time for a timeout. Good time for a timeout here. So it's a little early for Kansas City, but I think Coach Stefan Stokic knows he's got to settle his team down, because if UCFC pulls another goal in this quarter, this place is going to burst.
Absolutely. Right now, 3 of the first 4, 75% of the output belonging to Utica City FC. 2 of the goals for the city belonging to Taylor Walter Bond. And what has stood out to you so far out of the gate here, Eric?
Well, I said at the beginning, 2 keys. Who's going to win the transition game and who's going to press better? We haven't seen too much pressing because there's been so much transition. This is the game UCFC wants to win, and unless Kansas City starts to slow this down and be a little bit more disciplined when they get the ball, UCFC could start running away.
Utica City FC 16-7-1 in the regular season. They finished second in the Eastern Division. This actually is their second winningest regular season in Utica. Here's another look at the goal by Taylor Walter Bond.
Just a little header across the goalkeeper. Beautiful. And he took a little bit off of that, and there's nothing Neto could do.
And that's one of the things that really stands out with Isak Sama's play as well, as he had the helper there from the third line. His ability to provide distance control on the ball, I think, is an underrated asset of his game. So much is made of his agility and his speed that people forget he can wait a really, really good ball. And that makes an impactful difference in the transition.
It's my first time here in this building, Ray. You see on TV what it's like, you hear what it's like, but unless you come up here to the Adirondack Bank Center, you don't really feel how intense it is, how the fans are looking down on the field. It's something.
And what a success story this franchise has been. Came here prior to the 2018-19 season from nearby Syracuse. There was a lot of curiosity about this product and what it would be, and it has taken on a life of its own beyond measure. It's been really fun to watch it grow up here. As the pass gets away from Fernandez, bumped back by Ramon Palmer. And now Fernandez with the recovery as that one is juggled forward. Reggett in pursuit. Alava, the only Utica City player to play all 24 regular season games. He's become a really, really durable defender and switched positions to do it. Really high work rate guy, though, as time has gone along, and Everton Moreira trusting him more and more now.
Once again, Coughlin looking to send a player long. Kansas City a little bit more disciplined that time defensively.
Ronaldinho to Juan Alava. Ronaldinho scoring the lid lifter in this one. Gio Alves, a man who has 2 assists out of the gate right now in this first quarter, as we inch towards 3 minutes to play. Left side corner, Bond, shielded from the ball there by Robert Palmer. Neto with the long heave up to midfield. Ray Lee will hustle to it. Kansas City native Ray Lee. So often those hometown products, part of your bread and butter. As a franchise in the MASL, Utica's got some great ones. Milwaukee's got some great ones too.
Tacoma as well. That's a model for success if you can grow your own talent, right?
Absolutely, as Keaton Woods gets a leg in there to keep it away from Reggett. It will stay at the perimeter. KC possession, a shot, a goal for Ignacio Flores. His 3rd goal of this series and this postseason. And it's back to 1.
Interesting story about Nacho. He was named captain when the Comets were having issues mid-year, and he's the leader off the field, he's a leader on the field, and he's carrying this team on his back in the playoffs, right?
Now wearing that captain's armband.
And look at him. He's a fiery guy. He's trying to get his team riled up, and they know that they're facing adversity here in Utica.
Nelson Santana across to Coughlin. Coughlin just so good at distributing the ball downfield. He really does act as kind of a third defender in Utica City's system.
Well, and he's always looking for transition, let's score, and you have to be paying attention all the time if you're the opposing team. You just have to.
I should recalculate and rephrase there. By his nature, he's a third defender because he's a goalkeeper. But his participation in the buildup, his ability to throw the ball downfield, find seams, there's nobody really better in the league. He's one of the absolute best at that.
Yeah, maybe a different way to say it is he's the first attacker. So whenever he has the ball, he's automatically looking to start the attack the other way. And not all goalkeepers do that.
He led the league in goalkeeper assists a season ago. Had 7 of them. Free kick will be spotted right at the third line. Hundell is behind it. Utica tonight being coached by the tandem of Casey Murphy and former Utica City head coach and current GM Tommy Tanner. In the absence of Everton Morera, Santana puts that out to the left side wing. One-on-one marking here for Soma. Now the double comes over. That will force Utica to kind of reset back at the points as Santana plays it to Coughlin now. And all the way down to Neto.
The Comets are switching up. It's not just one player on Oliveira. There've been multiple players. We've seen Nacho on him that time, Robert Palmer before, but they're definitely keeping an eye on him because they saw if he just has an inch, he will score.
1:31 left, first quarter. 3-2 Utica, 1-goal game out of the gate. In this opening frame, and what should be an absolute nail-biter. An encroachment warning put on the table against Kansas City, something to keep an eye on.
I mentioned the watch party in Kenosha, Wisconsin. There's a watch party going on in North Kansas City, Missouri right now. My Kansas City Comets broadcast partner, Nick Vasso's there along with the crew. It's so great that CBS Sports Golazo has made this available for people all over the United States.
Absolutely. Couldn't be more happy to be a part of it. Please send barbecue, everyone.
Well, you need to come visit sometime. We'll hook you up, but I will not tell you my favorite on air. You'll have to wait until off air.
Of course, got to protect the secret. Godoy. That goes off of Reget and into the bench area. In front of Stefan Stokic, taking over this season for Leo Gibson as the head coach of the Kansas City Comets.
Team started 7-1, lost 8, and then finished 7-1, and this has been one of the hottest teams in the MASL.
NDI turns that over at the third line. Kind of a speculative pass there. Good double along the wing, gets it for Ronaldinho.
Good turn.
Great footwork through the middle. Fernandez to NDI and now to Hundell along the middle line. 30 seconds left here in this first quarter. It is 3-2 Utica. Off the corner boards, Kelvin pushed away from it. And they'll let them play on along the left side. Finally, a call gets made for a handball, as you alluded to, but Kelvin Oliveira.
And Berto 3 times has done the get-up gesture. I think definitely he won that one fair. Oliveira definitely hurt right here, and Kansas City is defending him differently tonight than they did in Game 1. A little bit of a nudge, not enough.
Yeah.
Utica could try to challenge that. I don't think there's enough there in terms of converting that to a 2-minute penalty. Little fan thinks so too. He brought his blue card to the game there, right?
Training the next generation of officials early.
We'll get a pause here as the training staff comes to look at Oliveira. What a talent, though. We saw it on display. Late signing for UCFC, so that was his first game of the season last week, and this is his first home game tonight.
And he gets up to his feet. And the thing that comes to mind with Kelvin are the words technical ability. Right off the top, this is a guy with the ball at his feet. He is fantastic.
And he can shoot with both feet. He can lay off the ball to incoming teammates. He possesses everything you want to see in an attacker in this league. And just give him a full season or even a half the season. He had two practices with UCFC before game one, which resulted in 2 goals and an assist.
And perhaps maybe you watched the soccer tournament last summer, that outdoor 7v7 tournament. Kelvin was the man who scored the golden goal, the winning goal that got Newtown Pride FC, a team largely composed of MASL players, got them the $1 million.
Including none other than Robert Palmer, who just defended him on that sequence.
Isak Sama from Utica on that team as well. And former Utica City player Onu Obasi was the head coach. Now with the Harrisburg Heat, and soon to be a head coach in the MASL 2 with the new Spice City franchise forming up in Danbury, Connecticut.
That's going to be terrific. At least what I've seen from their initial social media, it looks like it's going to be a fun place to watch indoor soccer.
8 seconds left in this first quarter. Cleared to center, Rafa Godoy tries to take one final bid. A stand-up block gets made at the buzzer. And just like that, we've got a quarter in the books, 3-2. We will step away here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. End of one quarter of play. We head to the second. 3-2. Utica City FC is our score. It's Eastern Conference semifinal, game 2 in the Ron Newman Cup playoffs of the Major Arena Soccer League. These two teams met in the playoffs last season. Utica, the prevailing victor in that particular instance. And what's interesting for Utica is you go back to that playoff game last year, Eric, and only one player who scored a goal for Utica City in that game last year is on the active roster right now.
A lot of turnover. That game had a different feel to it. And obviously you called the game here at the Adirondack Bank Center. The Comets went up to an early lead, and Utica once again found its way back. They were leading, Kansas City tied it late, and then UCFC with one of the greatest indoor goals you will ever see to win it in overtime. But this is a different feel. UCFC wanted to put its stamp on the game in the first quarter, wanted to get the transition game going, and we've seen some terrific goals already, Ray.
By the way, that player, Juan Alava, who we talked about earlier, the Iron Man this season for Utica, playing in his 26th game of the year. He's played every single contest. This is a 24-game regular season, followed by these Ron Newman Cup playoffs. 3-leg series, 2 full games, and then a 15-minute knockout game if necessary.
And if you're curious and you're new to the Major Arena Soccer League, go to maslsoccer.com/rules, and you can read the rules from A to Z. It's not that complicated a game, Ray.
Kelvin back on the field. Good to see he's okay after taking that nasty spill into the end boards earlier. And now to Andrew Coughlin. Chip downfield. Neto, a collision there with Kelvin. Neto will control the ball. A little two-handed distribution to roll that out the far side. And in and out of the bench it goes. Speaking of MASLsoccer.com, the official website of the Major Arena Soccer League, your home for everything MASL. All your latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. You can check the schedule and find out how the rest of these playoffs are going, find places to watch them. We promise you will not be disappointed. Geometrically off the corner boards, trapped to the end boards by Neto. As that was lifted forward by Chad Vandergriff.
MASL Soccer is a small family. Heard from Milwaukee's terrific color analyst, Art Kramer, who's watching on CBS Sports Golazo. Always great to hear from him. He really calls a game well.
Shot off the side of Andrew Coughlin, who kind of dove awkwardly there on the attempt by Marquez. Was still able to trap it.
Uncharacteristic giveaway. Comets will have an opportunity to set up here.
Marquez will roll dodge towards the middle. That opens up the passing lane to hit Robert Palmer. Ray Lee connects bench side. Now to Souza. Souza on a 3-match heater, a 3-match point streak with 6 points, 3 goals, and 3 assists in that time frame. Pass behind the heels of Lee. It will get back to center. Palmer darts it back forward. Bond protects the ball. He's got 2 goals already. He's got a brace, both of which came in the first quarter. Just over 90 seconds into the second quarter, we have yet to have a goal for either side. This, of course, by its very nature, a very inherently high-scoring sport. The average probably, if I had to guess, 13, 14 goals. Reggett, he shoots belt high. Rebound comes back to NDI, and now Coughlin settles it.
Couldn't tell whether he was trying to go between Coughlin's legs or across his body, but Coughlin set up really well, made no mistake that opportunity.
Roberts with the playback, now to Fernandez. Dazzling second-year player for Utica City. Part of that young core that has really revolutionized how this franchise operates. Back heel by Kelvin was intercepted. Oliveira, great job to close in after he turns it over. Rips that away from Acosta. Fernandez, now to Kelvin. Oliveira, right side. Dangles the ball into the corner, lost it with Ray Lee marking him. But plenty of time for Neto.
I spoke yesterday at the team hotel with Comets head coach Stefan Stokic. Asked him, what's your initial read on Oliveira in person? He's like, he's terrific, and he plays great defense, too. It's not what he expected when he saw him game 1.
Ramon Palmer just tried the bike in the far corner. He put that over the bar.
Kansas City, all they had to look at was, you mentioned his TST appearances last summer, so they were trying to watch game film on him. Look at that entry pass. Once again, Comets trying to take a page out of the Utica City playbook. Go fast, go into the corner, and see if you can get a one-on-one opportunity.
One thing I haven't seen this season for Utica City is a successful bicycle kick.
They're rare.
We did see one, though. First time on CBS Sports Golazo out in the Inland Empire, there was one that definitely had people rolling the highlight film a bit. Bond rolls out of trouble. Gio Alves tries from distance. He brushes it wide of frame. Keaton Woods. Coughlin very cautious to get away from the ball there. Alavo looks downfield, left side corner. It's part of the build-up here. You're only allowed to touch the ball as a goalkeeper really once per possession.
That's correct. You mentioned that first game on CBS Sports Golazo. Always great to hear the Empire Strikers, Christian Phillyman and Jonathan Reimer on that. They not only got to call a bicycle goal, got to call Marco Fabian's name more than once. Terrific opportunity. Then the San Diego Soccer, 16-time indoor soccer champions, won that game, and fairly convincingly.
Speaking of champions, Marco Fabian, a Olympic medalist with Mexico. And the national team there, plenty of caps. He has been certainly a global superstar. Glad to have him here in the MASL.
Tied Zach Reggett for the Golden Boot, and he scored goals from everywhere. Another player who can score with both feet, just like Kelvin Oliveira here for UCFC.
Hundelt, his pass deflected by Vandegrift. Hundelt takes the push into the corner, stays on his feet. Knifes that back to Nelson Santana. Soma tries to take his man off the dribble, now holds up.
Had a chance to talk to Hundelt's father at halftime of the game one. Hundelt's father played for the Kansas City Comets, so it was a reunion watching his son play for UCFC back in Kansas City.
Right side corner, Taylor Bond. Does he have a hat trick in him in the first half? He's already had a hat trick at home this season.
See how both teams have adjusted. It's not so much end-to-end as we saw in the first quarter, Ray. Kansas City being a little bit more disciplined on defense. And I think that now both coaches will adjust on each other, and I'm waiting to see if Oliveira is going to be the answer here in quarter two.
Hundelt steers this back, and from center, it's NDI. Kelvin just kind of forced off balance. Good marking there by Palmer. And it goes up and out of play into about the fifth row. KC tries to quick start it, but that's going to get called back.
And if I had told you last summer when Newtown Pride was winning the TST championship that Kelvin Oliveira would be a member of UCFC and then Empire striker Robert Palmer would be a member of the Kansas City Comets, you would have thought I was dreaming. And here we are.
We are living a dream, in fact, good sir. 9 minutes to play before halftime here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. We're glad you're joining us for the MASL Ron Newman Cup Playoffs, Eastern Conference Semifinal, Game 2. The other three teams in the conference finals are already known at this point. And all three of those series, by the way, in the first round, those conference semifinals, other than this one, went the distance. Into the knockout game, Utica trying to get themselves there as well. If Kansas City wins Game 2, the series is over and the Comets would move on to play Milwaukee. The teams in the West, Chihuahua and San Diego, the Suckers. Chihuahua defending champions.
Chihuahua defending champions. San Diego 16-time champions, and San Diego has a bad taste in its mouth, having gotten knocked out of the semifinals last year at home in the knockout game by Chihuahua.
And that was certainly to some degree shocking. However, what Milwaukee just did to Monterrey was undefeated going into that series. Won the first game, and then Milwaukee was able to take Game 2 and then the knockout game. And that certainly has turned this playoffs right on its ear out of the gate.
Milwaukee took Monterrey to overtime multiple games this year, so they felt they could compete with them. And if you had thought after Game 1 when they lost at home that they were going to come in and sweep down there, you would have been in the serious minority.
But they were able to get it done, and just goes to show you any given day. And Utica took the Monterrey Flash to the wire as well here on this very field earlier this season. A lot of teams did, but nobody was successful through 24 games.
Good ball. Once again, Oliveira.
Great ball to Gordy Gerson. Gerson just swipes over it. Missed that over the top of the ball. Ramirez. Jousting with him, now plays it up the right side. Lennis, the rookie, who had a hat trick in St. Louis back on St. Patrick's Day. Gerson down at center. And a stoppage with 6:52 left in the second quarter.
Ramirez's first shift, and he's been coming off injury. And so the Comets, for the first time this season, it feels like since game one, the full complement of players for Coach Stefan Stokic to choose from.
Halaman participating in this buildup. Overhead by Ramon Palmer. Intercepted by Ronaldinho, who lifted the lid on this contest with the first of 3 Utica goals. Kelvin looking for his third of the series. Missed that over the crossbar. 3-2 is our score as we hit our timeout for the second quarter. You're watching the Ron Newman Cup playoffs on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Fifth meeting of the season between Utica and Kansas City here in Game 2 of this Eastern Conference Semifinal Series in the MASL's Ron Newman Cup playoffs. Both teams in the regular season and the start of the postseason, through the first 4, they've split those meetings 2 apiece. Utica won 7-3 here on home ground, but so far this has proven to be a lot tighter, and Kansas City breathing down Utica City's neck, despite 2 goals from Taylor Walter Bond in the early going.
I go back to that timeout that Kansas City called in the first quarter, and at that point it was 3-1, a UCFC goal right then, and the floodgates could have opened. So that was a smart play by Kansas City head coach Stefan Stokic, and they slowed the game down, scored that second goal, and the rhythm has been very different here in the second quarter, Ray.
We start winding towards halftime, 6.5 to play before the break. Great little post-up play, and turning into a powerful shot was Marquez. That had to be chased away.
He's a handful, and so you have to decide how tight do you want to play him. He'll try to spin you left for sure, and great reaction there by Coughlin to slide near side and not allow a near-post goal.
Neutral zone, Ronaldinho lost the ball to Ramon Palmer. Marquez along the left wing, trying to back down Alava. Pass slotted through a seam, taken from the third line by Souza. That's out of play. 6:03 before the break. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll go to our CBS Sports Golazo Network studios where John Brickley and the one and only Ian Joy are standing by. So that's coming up for you shortly.
Great job by Andreos tracking back to help out Garza there.
And now to Souza, left side. Robert Palmer. Connection made to Reggett. 2 of the big stars in this league. A lot of firepower on the field right now for Kansas City. As Reggett sucks this right back to Palmer. Right now it's Nelson Santana who has drawn the responsibility of guarding Zach Reggett up front. Lee under pressure here from Bond, who came up in the high press. He'll stay with him here. They try to stretch it to Reggett. Off the first touch, he regathers. Reggett tries from the third line, blocked away. Recovered by Ray Lee, 5'11", 180-pound defender. Reggett, great pass off the boards.
Two great defensive efforts there by Keaton Woods, block and block.
And that second one turning away Michael Lennis. 4:46 to play before halftime. And down to Nicolo Neto. Waits patiently for that to approach his box. Thrown distribution far side. They look for Reggett. Santana had it read all the way, puts it out.
You will see Neto throw the ball down the field, but that's not his bread and butter the way Coughlin is. But Kansas City wants to keep Utica City honest and wants to show it can transition, maybe not to the same ferocity as you would see of UCFC, but they want to keep that option open.
Free kick from the attacking third line for Ramon Palmer. He'll get the step over. Now takes the pass to the corner. Entry pass deflected away from Reggett. Holloman keeps it alive. And the diagonal pass sniffed out beautifully by Gordy Gerson, but Kansas City comes right up with the pressure off the change of possession. Acosta very heavily involved there for the Comets.
Good play there by NDI to step off his man and to read that and kick the ball out of danger.
Gordy Gerson at center as a member of Utica City goes down hard back behind the play. With 4:07 left in the second quarter. Believe that's Rafa Godoy. It is.
Both coaches have a challenge flag, an opportunity to use it to call for video replay.
Casey Murphy is
I don't
going
think
berserk.
there's enough there to merit a 2-minute penalty, and so I think it's good to hold off and not challenge that one, Ray.
Headed by Ignacio Flores. Gerson tries his luck from distance. Always a talented striker. Lowered down, a little back heel setup by Kelvin. Gerson fires it wide. It lands at the feet of Fernandez. Talk about firepower. Utica's got a ton of it on the field right now. And NDI has to hustle back to play Souza. And boy, did he ever. With authority, gets the takeaway.
Former target forward converted to defender last year in Empire. Showed in game one he can score still too. So good two-way option here for UCFC.
So athletic, runs the ball, runs the floor extremely well. And his shot is fantastic. He's also one of the best passers in the league. Van de Griff into the wall, pretty hard there, far side. 3:17 left in the second quarter. Free kick for KC.
I know fans want 2-minute penalties. I really appreciate these referees are letting them play. It's going to take something pretty egregious to merit a 2-minute penalty this evening.
And they've set kind of an open standard here through the first part of this contest.
Let them play.
Ronaldinho drawing three defenders to him. And the pass diagonal intercepted by Ramon Palmer. He was looking for Taylor Walter Bond on the doorstep for what could have been a hat trick attempt. Neto fires this forward. Acosta off the glass.
He's not afraid to shoot from anywhere either.
Did a nice job following his shot, but Wadalava was all over it.
And again, simple foul. The fans want a 2. It's going to take more than that for Ryan Sigich and Kyle Trimble to pull the card out of their pocket this evening. And really, you want the players on the field to win the game, and the referees are giving them that opportunity.
Good opportunity for our new audience here. Explain how the card system works.
Well, there's these colors. They're blue, they're yellow, they're red. The blue card is similar to a 2-minute penalty in hockey. Yellow card, a little bit different than an outdoor, and the red card is an ejection from the game.
The yellow card primarily for conduct fouls. Things like dissent.
Yeah, exactly. And so a blue card will result, if it's a single penalty, into a 2-minute penalty, shorthanded, one team has a power play. The yellow card is a 5-minute misconduct with no man advantage.
At center, Isak Salma. Big burst of speed, very explosive, and had an open gap. The seas kind of parted for him down the middle. The shot went wide. Gordy Gerson lowers this right side corner for Kelvin Oliveira. Kelvin with the turnaround. Diagonally off the corner boards. Roberts keeps it alive with the header into the box. Lifted away by Vandergriff.
Anytime there is a head injury, and Ryan Sigish pointed to his head, the referees have been told, stop the action, bring the trainer out on the field.
In this case, that's Andreos who was down.
Yeah, and that was totally unintentional, but you don't want a player with a potential concussion. Now, keep in mind, that was more his face than his head, but what's the old adage, better safe than sorry? You want to protect players in a fast-paced, electric game like indoor soccer.
And so far through most of this first half, I would say pretty fair level of respect here shown by both sides.
I think that's right. These teams do respect each other, and they knew that the series was going to be a battle, and whoever's going to win this series is because they earned this series. It's not going to be given by either team.
Kansas City keeping it alive, offensive zone, and down goes Michael Lennis, the rookie.
Nacho Flores coming over to measure the set piece. Two left-footed players to his right, Ray Lee in the middle and Zach Reggett out wide. Michael Lennis short, and then the big man, Real Marquez in the middle.
Little skip pass, shot goes out of play for Reggett. Can we just talk about the way Marquez took on basically the entire Utica defense there along the right side?
He's the prototypical target forward in this league you want to have on your team. You don't want to face him defensively because he's big, he's strong, and he can carry guys with him.
Reminds me a lot of the former Utica captain, Bo Yelovitz. Big, bruising player, broad shoulders, really muscular upper body. He is in the building tonight.
Yeah, and I saw a fan with one of his jerseys on. They still know him here. They still love him here.
Ramon Palmer circles back towards the middle as NDI is down in front of the Utica bench. A blue card is out.
There's your first one. Right in front of the bench, too. Fans love that call. Marquez can't believe it. I think you'll see on the replay, they took a look at it. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, the card came out. So they're tied up on the bench, and then the leg came across. And it was the leg that did it there.
Marquez with the blue. 2-minute man advantage for Utica City FC. They were 1 of 2 in game 1. Mo NDI was the goal scorer. They were 4 of 18 at home during the regular season and route to 31%. Meanwhile for KC, 61.7% penalty kill. And they're 1 of 2 in the postseason with Utica's power play 1 of 2 as well. 18 of 25 on the road in the regular season. Their road penalty killing better than their home penalty killing.
Thought that was in.
And it was Kelvin who not only almost bagged that himself, he almost put that in off of Fernandez.
34 seconds left. Comets, if you're defending this power play, you want to kill this portion of it off and live to go into the locker room. If you are Utica, what a momentum change possibly. That one didn't miss by much. And 1:42 left in the penalty, so if the Comets do kill this, there's still a minute plus power play opportunity in the third quarter for UCFC.
Neto taking his sweet time, getting up to the ball. Wants to run off as much penalty time as possible.
No call there.
Clears it down full 200 basically for Dylan Hundo.
Comets have to be quick on this line change here. 12 seconds left.
10 seconds. This power play might be spilling over into the second half if Utica doesn't score here. NDI just wide of the upper 90. Gio Alves' follow-up lands back in play. A battle for it. Buzzer approaching, and it sounds with Utica leading 3-2 at the break. Taylor Walter Bond with 2 of the 3 Utica goals. Kansas City with Reggett and Flores. Connecting the back of the twine. The balance goal for Utica, the lid lifter, Ronaldinho Denise. And we'll send it downstairs. Logan Roberts is with Brennan Miller.
Logan, I know that you guys came into this game, obviously, a game behind, and with a few players usually on the roster that you didn't have. How are we doing so far in this first half?
No, I think it's been good. Obviously, it's a really intense game. I think the energy level's been good from us and good from the crowd. So I think this game's kind of going exactly how I thought it was going to be. It's going to be a tough game for us to win, so we just got to stay with it in the second half.
Coming out here in the second half, you guys are going to have a little bit of an advantage. Weren't able to capitalize on it late here in half number one, but what's going to be kind of the game plan to make sure that that lead increases as things go on?
I think we just got to focus on defending first, getting everybody behind the ball, and then we know opportunities are going to come. We're good going forward. So, yeah, defensively, that's our focus.
And what do you have to say to all these UCFC fans that came out and made sure that they're making themselves heard to get you guys into that Eastern Division final?
Yeah, it's been great so far. We need everything we can get for this next 30 minutes. We can play another 15 after. So we really need you guys the second half, so please keep it up.
All right, let's hear it. Logan Roberts.
Logan Roberts and Brennan Miller. A dream pairing on the field, and now we'll get ready to send it to our dream pairing in the studio. For CBS Sports Golazo, John Brickley and Ian Joy. The MASL playoffs are back on CBS Sports Golazo. We've got a great one for you on tap for the second half. Utica leads on home ground 3-2 over the Kansas City Comets as we head into quarter number 3. I'm Ray Biggs, he's Eric Bergrud. Glad to have you along for the ride with us this evening. Shots for the first half were 10-8 in favor of Utica. However, Kansas City, after a 9-4 advantage for Utica in the opening quarter, it was 4-1 KC in the second quarter as the chances cut down considerably, and as a result, a couple of goose eggs in that second quarter after a 5-goal start.
Kansas City slowed the game down in the second, which I think paid off for them. The third quarter has been their Achilles heel all season long, and so it's going to be interesting to see whether Kansas City plays the same style they did in the second or whether they try something different. But patience is something I'm sure Coach Stefan Stokic talked about at halftime.
Second half underway. By the way, following tonight's game, you can catch MASL Monday on MASLsoccer.com. We'll be joining Alex Bazjuvansky and Phil Ivanko to talk about tonight's game. Again, that's MASL Monday, which of course airs every Monday night. Second half action is up and running. Alava with the ball underneath his feet, able to escape. Slides that to Gio Alvis. Alvis with a couple of assists in that first half on the first and third Utica City goals. Alvis, a former MLS Super Draft pick from DC United. Played the latter portion of his college career at the University of Vermont with the Catamounts, and started in junior college ranks with Dean College out in New England. Kelvin Oliveira, slick little move on the ball, and the shot taken by NDI is turned away by Neto. Utica opening up firing here in this second half, 1 minute in. And the power play still running for another 5 seconds, and they put an exclamation point on it. Mo NDI with a backdoor flush. His second of the playoffs.
Well, we talked earlier about NDI being a converted target. Second goal in 2 games here in the series. And he just made a beautiful backdoor run. Vandegrift cut in, nobody there, back post, except for number 10, Mo NDI.
Exceptional pass from the wing by Steven Fernandez. He puts that right in the breadbasket for NDI. And Utica, who did not have a lot of power play chances in the regular season at home, only 18 power play chances in 12 games, and a lot of that came late in the season. For the longest time, Utica was stuck at like 1 home power play chance for pretty much half a year.
One of the things we talked about during game 1 is self-inflicted problems, and that's what happened to Kansas City that allowed UCFC to come back in game 1. Taking a penalty like that leads to a goal. Now Kansas City needs to try to crawl back into this game.
Off of Santana, Coughlin is there. He rolls it out left side. Coughlin, a 13-6-1 playoff record in his career. He'll have to be the man of the hour here in the second half if the home side wants to force the knockout game. Gerson pulls up, delivers a line drive chance that elevates up and out.
Got underneath it. And what's funny is how many players try to shoot high on Neto, and Neto, such a big imposing goalkeeper who loves going high.
His numbers pretty imposing too, Eric. Third in the league in save percentage and GAA in the regular season.
With a legitimate shot, and I mean legitimate to be goalkeeper of the year this year.
Hard challenge by Hundeld at center. They will call this back.
Smattering of booze here.
As Ramirez went down quite thunderously, native of Costa Mesa, California. 5 goals in the regular season.
Watch on the replay. Nowhere even close to the ball, too, and I think it was an easier call. Kyle Trimble right there.
And Hundelt will get blue carded. Power play for KC. Their third power play chance of the postseason. They're 0 for 2 so far. They led the East in the power play in the regular season at 48.4%. And what will they do with that? Certainly a dangerous unit with the skill level they have on the field.
They do something different here, but both targets out there on the power play. Takeaway here for UCFC. Here goes Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho with a burst of speed down the left side. Great job to kind of hold up play and circle away from the defensive coverage to buy time. Little giveaway off the back heel with Lee in pursuit. And now KC will try to come back forward and get reestablished after a rough start to the power play. Acosta. Here's Reggett. Lee around the horn. Marquez. Reggett scores. That'll bring it back to 4-3 with 11:46 to play in the third quarter. Throw the switch. The power is indeed on in this third quarter.
And the targets we talked about, target to target goal. Just an interesting wrinkle they put on this power play unit. What are you going to do? Are you going to mark Marquez? Are you going to mark Reggett? Which way? And Reggett scored that time.
Second of the postseason and the night for Zach Reggett, the co-champion of the Golden Boot in the regular season. He's a proven goal scorer, and proven goal scorers get it done in big-time playoff games like this one tonight. The man with two for Utica, Bond, puts that off the corner boards. Looking for what's called the one-time Wallace-Scora setup, of course. Hundell unable to make it happen down the middle as he may have had some contact down the center. Look at our picture-in-picture replay as it goes back to Coughlin.
Opportunity to throw the flag there, and there it is. You get one challenge per game in regulation in the MASL, and I think that the coaching staff, including Tommy Tanner, would love a penalty kick called right there. And Kyle Trimble and Ryan Sigich will go take a look at it on the near side. Ray.
Friendly reminder, you can get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, MASL Arena on Twitter. We go to video review, and what they're looking for is a foul inside the box.
You can see a push from Garza. It looked like it maybe was, if you're going to call anything, as outside the box, which would lead to a shootout. We'll see if there's enough there to overturn the call. Kyle Trimble was right there the first time, and he saw it and waved it off. He's right there in the corner. You could barely see his hand there from our angle. So he did have a view. Doesn't mean they won't overturn it here. So see where this starts outside the penalty box?
Yep, and watch Jacob Garza, 48 there, and you make the call.
Well, and speaking of the Garzas, I got a message. Everybody's blowing up my phones. The Garzas, his parents are having a watch party in Florida, too. I'm sure they're hoping that there's no 2-minute penalty on their son here, but we'll see. Good entry pass there from Bond, looking to go Wallace-Scora for Hundell. And we'll see if Mr. Sigich and Trimble come to a conclusion. Ryan Sigich is about to take his headset off, and we're going to hear
what the call is.
He's reaching toward his pocket.
That might mean something, that might mean nothing. Can't tell what he's got in his hand.
He reached for the whistle. I wasn't sure if he was going to reach for his whistle or for the blue card. They're taking a bit to figure this out. You talk this much, you kind of feel like they're going to call something.
And they have called a foul.
So it's going to be a foul outside the box.
Looks to be the case.
Well,
just outside.
Not what UCFC wanted, because that was their one challenge.
However, it gives them a great free kick here.
And Oliveira out wide all by himself. So UCFC absolutely is going to want to convert on that. You use that challenge flag now, you want a goal to come as a result.
Utica leading by 1. They have to win to force the knockout game in this series. Kansas City won game 1. NDI.
And look at where Neto is positioning himself. Susceptibility on the far side, but trying to prevent a shot on goal right here. And then he checks back.
2-man wall, 2 men guarding the posts here. Holloman and Reggett forming the wall. Neto rearranging some things here. NDI, stutter step, Kelvin is blocked.
Good job by Vandegrift there. Taking one for the team, a little bit of a log roll.
61 blocked shots in the regular season, third in the league for Chad Vandegrift. He's been a big-time shot blocker for a long time. To the top end, Alvis, Gerson swung it back post. It's open, it's available momentarily. Good defensive intervention there by Holloman to deny Kelvin. An opportunity to hold on to it along the right side.
Holloman's father played indoor soccer in Kansas City. I know he's watching too. It's great to talk about these generations. Ray, you have parents watching for both teams who played professional indoor soccer, then an opportunity to have their children play the game they love at this level. Must be quite the experience.
Absolutely. And let me be clear, we're all in the business of indoor soccer because we love it so much. This is a truly beautiful version of the beautiful game. And it's good to kind of see the generations coming together now, as you kind of allude to. Big bounce off the far boards. Marquez turns it over. Ran out of time there at the top end of the goal box. Good body control by Fernandez. Ronaldinho trying to get it settled here. Fernandez, left wing side. Out of Rego Park, New York. Played for Iona in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
The Gales.
Yes.
I know a little bit about New York soccer. A little bit.
Considering you went to Fordham, I would hope so.
Yeah, when I played college soccer, we were in the MAC, and Iona was one of the big rivals. So a few years ago, Ray.
Where are they now? I know they were in the A-10 for a minute.
They're in the A-10 still, yeah. So the closest they get to Kansas City is St. Louis University Billikens, where Ray Lee and Chad Vandegrift played.
Always a great way to close the loop, and I love that. 9:46 to play, third quarter, game 2. Ron Newman Cup, Eastern Semis. Kansas City leads the series, 1-0. Utica has to win to advance the series into the third leg, also known as the knockout game. Reggett being bodied here by Bond. Those two fall out of the play like dominoes. Bond crashing the glass. And it's shackled by Flores. He gathers it up. Entry pass is lifted away. Good job by Ronaldinho. Rolled out by Nicolau Neto, the Kansas City goalkeeper. 14-3-4 regular season record for the Brazilian. He made 17 saves in the first game of this series. Put up and out of play by Marquez. Both teams scoring in this third quarter on the power play. We have not seen an even strength tally for quite a while.
It's changed, and adjustments from both teams, and it's really slowed down compared to the pace we were seeing in the first quarter, where UCFC just wanted to attack downfield and look for those odd man rushes. We've seen fewer of them here in quarters 2 and 3 so far.
Banged forward, cross field for Hundelt. Just overran a bit by Oliveira as that came off the boards. Hundelt recovers to Kelvin. He shoots and that misses high.
He's been frustrated tonight. His shots have been higher. If you look at the goals he scored the other night, both were low. I see this a lot with Lucas Sosa with Kansas City, another Brazilian. You can tell when he's pressing his shots because they'll start going up into the net, and you saw that there, and you see the frustration on his face.
So talented, though. Could be part of the future of this league yet. And, in fact, it's present. He's already had an impact on this series.
Foul behind the ball.
As Souza was motoring across center. 8:09 left in the third. It's 4-3, a one-goal game. Utica leading Kansas City on home ground. Fresh off the heels of the second winningest regular season in Utica history.
Opportunity.
As Vandergriff just whiffed on the wall to score a chance. Again, one-time goal off the wall. That's a Wallace score in a nutshell. Vandergriff bearing down right side. Soma broke it up, but it rattles home.
And Vandergriff said, hey, just the way we drew it up at the world-famous Kansas City Soccer Dome, if you don't score on the Wallace scorer, you just get in the right place, have the ball bounce off you and score.
4-3 and make it 4-4. Just like that in the blink of an eye. We'll step away here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. We welcome you back inside the Adirondack Bank Center, where Kansas City has pulled level. It's 4-4.
And Vandergriff, right place, right time. Missed the Wallace scorer, scored there. And it's a typical indoor soccer goal. Sometimes the deflection, whether it's off your team or the other team, as long as it goes over the line, it all counts the same.
So it is 4-4. Chad Vandergriff, his first of the postseason, only his second of the year in all competitions. Pretty big time to find some of that depth leverage for Kansas City to get this even. As the ball is elevated up and out of play. Good time to remind you about MASLsoccer.com, your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Deep free kick coming up for the Comets.
And you have MASLsoccer.com up in front of you with game stats. You can watch them live too.
Flores. Crafty little back heel. You don't typically see that out of that spot. Reggett enters it in, bumped high and out of play by Ignacio Flores, the OT hero from game one. Flores, and by the way, 4 goals and an assist against Utica this year entering today's match, and he has a goal tonight, so make that 5 goals. He's had good success against this side.
Big time player too. Plays with passion, and he plays 2 ways. He can defend, he can attack, he can do set pieces, he can do a lot.
Andreos on the recovery. He's shouldered up there by Hundell. As play flows along into the Utica third. Off balance turnaround pass by Ramirez. Off the boards, Lennis kept alive and put in by Flores. Kansas City has their first lead of this match.
You talked about what a Wallace scorer is. Let's show the fans and the viewers what a Wallace scorer is. Off the boards, first time shot, Wallace scorer. Ray, one more view of it from another angle. Just dinked it enough past Santana. Good goal there by Nacho Flores, the captain.
his 4th of these playoffs. All in this series, of course, with this being the opening series for both teams. The winner takes on Milwaukee, the 4 seed, for the right to advance.
I had the privilege of calling his games in college at Park University outside of Kansas City, and he was a captain there. When he was named captain here, you could see automatically how that changed the tone and tenor here in the locker room, on the field. He is a competitor. He wants to win, and I think his teammates feed on that.
Robert Palmer, a nice job to chase Bond backwards. Ramirez, pass just missing Andreos along the left side. Helter-skelter with the changes. Here comes KC. Garza parks it along the right side as Fernandez comes up and applies the pressure, and now Bond at least shadowing Berto from distance. A bit passive there. Play definitely slowing down a touch after the rush upfield amidst the line changes. Another great feature of the indoor game, high energy all the time. Players changing off every minute or so. Reggett, left side corner, foul on NDI.
You had mentioned the Canada-U.S. women's game here yesterday and the energy here. There's so many similarities between indoor soccer and hockey, but yet marked differences too, right?
I can get in on that a bit more in a moment. Opportunity from the corner by Marquez, rattles away. Distant opportunity for Souza is turned away.
Great save there by Coughlin. He comes up big when his team needs him.
And now Santana doubled in the corner. Help arriving from NDI. Looks like a bit of WWE wrestling out there in the corner as the ball comes loose, and Fernandez answers the bell to deny Flores the rock.
Looking for another Wallace scorer there. Big time defense there for UCFC.
Terrific play by Steven Fernandez. Very alert after that battle broke down in the corner.
Big changes for Kansas City. They started off slow, made some adjustments. Henry Ramirez, one of the changes they made, bringing him into the game.
Sama, early cross. Gerson, not able to get it to go. Under 5 to play in the third. 5-4. KC has their first lead. Zach Reggett leading the way for the visiting side. He has a couple goals. He's on the field now, shadowing NDI. As Oliveira goes to the corner. Retrieves it off of Andreos. His sharp angle try, stopped by Neto. Follow-up will land in his hands.
What a turn, though. You cannot let him get past you. Just tremendous control of the ball there in the corner, and Andreos looked like he had him, and little pivot. Oliveira's on goal.
5-4, Kansas City in front. Utica right there on their shoulder, and they've led most of the way and have done so in spite of the fact that 2 of their top guns are out of the mix. Along with head coach Everton Marrero, want to say hello to Everton. We know he's watching down in Central America right now.
One of those guns, Frank Tayu, scored today for U.S. Both Tayu and De Andrade have scored goals for USA Futsal. Good for both of them.
Absolutely.
Good tackle.
As Hundelt came up with the slide. Acosta with a timely recovery. Kansas City will have an opportunity to stay in the offense.
Acosta has been one of the terrific rookies in the league this year, scouted by a former Kansas City player. What a goal.
Saucered and in. Henry Ramirez.
Just mentioned his name a minute ago in terms of one of the adjustments, and we're going to get a timeout here for UCFC. We'll see if we watch this on the replay. Marquez, look at 2 guys on him. Great.
And
I'll just go to my runner.
And if he doesn't get there, Palmer's coming in late too. That is super dangerous. Utica more or less losing Ramirez there as Hundelt was caught a bit too far underneath. And Berto was there if he wasn't.
And Coughlin was stuck because the ball went between Hundelt's legs. Perfectly placed there by Ramirez. Nothing Coughlin could do. And all of a sudden, 4-2 lead is a 6-4 comeback for Kansas City. 4-2 previously for UCFC. One more look at this. Sends him wide, and look at the ball that came through. Coughlin's trying to stop the near post shot. Ball goes across the body through Hundelt's legs. And it's not necessarily the big guys who are scoring. Vandergrift scoring, Ramirez scoring. Obviously, you talked about Nacho and Rega too, but they're spreading the goals around.
The same way Utica kind of is right now. Ronaldinho, of course, had a breakout year. Taylor Bond had a great postseason last year. He did miss a bunch of games this season, Taylor Bond did, but back for these playoffs and has been pretty productive ever since. He's got a couple tonight. And Mo Ndiaye, big offseason acquisition for Utica. Now 21 assists entering tonight's game in all competitions, and he has a goal to boot, his second of these playoffs, and 9th in all competitions.
Talking about Kansas City's propensity for stumbling in the third quarter. This has been their best quarter all game, right?
By the way, if you like what you see tonight and think you still have what it takes, the MASL Combine is headed to sunny San Diego, California. They're opening up a new arena out there next year, Front Wave Arena. If you think you have what it takes to be the next star of the MASL, head to MASLsoccer.com to sign up and receive more information. And we'll give you more information on this game right here. 3:16 left in the third. Vandergrift. Diagonally off the boards, cleaned up perfectly. Good break up on the centering pass by Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho looking for Bond on the doorstep. Roberts played through everybody, did the high hurdle on the way into the net.
Two guys defensively went down to block that. First Nacho, then Vandergrift. Great opportunity on the counter there for UCFC, denied.
And this crowd, this home side crowd, the supporters come to life. Home team down by 2. Kansas City has surged into the lead.
A bad line change here for Kansas City. Watch out.
Utica trying to catch him here. Kelvin to the back post. Gio Alves couldn't put it away. Just a tough touch, but the second effort will go home. It's Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho becomes the second 2-goal scorer of the night for the home team, and the lead is back to 1.
Good sequence there. Neto was down. Walla score, nothing Neto could do. So we've seen Walla scores now, successive plays on both sides. And you don't have to kill your shots here, Ray. You don't have to try to put it top shelf. Just place it where the goalkeeper can't do anything. Banked it right off of Neto. Sometimes that's the hardest place for a goalkeeper to save, the one right next to him. Big goal for UCFC.
And since the NDI power play goal, that breaks up a 4-0 Kansas City run. The Comets, who, interestingly enough, share a moniker with the AHL team that plays in this building.
Totally coincidental.
These Comets probably less popular in Utica
Probably.
than their hockey counterparts.
Probably.
What a history and tradition that name has here.
Caught a little bit of their practice today next door.
Top affiliate, of course, of the New Jersey Devils.
I don't know if they were intentionally whizzing shots off the glass as I walked by, but I purposely tried not to flinch every time a puck was coming in my direction.
There are worse ways to spend a Monday afternoon. Lee down the left side. Fernandez on the scene. And now out to pressure is Ramon Palmer. Santana trying to help that to his keeper. It went off the foot of Coughlin. Bit dangerous there, but Coughlin a sure-handed play. Hundelt in transition, trying to turn back and find it was Gerson. That ball a bit underwhelming on the weight. And stalking that perfectly was Acosta.
Mentioned Acosta was scouted for Kansas City by former player Dino Delevsky.
Stolen, 1 minute left in the quarter. Oliveira misses over the bar. Long rebound comes out to the third line. Now stretched to Reagan. The pride of Kenosha, Wisconsin. Makes an impact seemingly wherever he goes.
Oh,
Long
good save.
shot. Bit of a juggle there by Coughlin, but he falls on the rebound.
Reggett was sitting there back post. If he hadn't gotten that, it was going to be an easy tap in for Kansas City.
Kelvin, his team down by 1. 6-5, 30 seconds left in our third quarter. We're so glad you're here on CBS Sports Golazo. Soma. Santana. Roberts peels off, looks back for help. Isak Soma. Hometown college product, played at Mohawk Valley Community College. NJCAA Division III. It rebounds back to the center, and Ronaldinho with the touch takes us to the fourth quarter. If you came looking for entertainment, you found it. It's a 6-5 score after 3. Here at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. We'll step away on CBS Sports Golazo. Now we're back on CBS Sports Golazo Network, ready for the fourth quarter of play. Fourth and final, of course, in regulation time. Kansas City trying to close out the series and become the first team in this postseason to sweep. Utica trying to continue the trend of advancing to the third leg, the knockout game. All 3 conference semifinals that are in the books went the distance. And again, the teams that are left, Chihuahua, San Diego, and in the Eastern Conference, Milwaukee will play the winner of this series.
And not much of a turnaround. They've already announced to their fans game 1 will be this Friday night in Milwaukee. So somebody here who's going to win, they're going to have to rest up a little bit and then get ready to head to Wisconsin. Maybe on Thursday, get ready for a Friday game.
Kelvin will kick it off. 2 goals and an assist in his debut.
You get the wave here a lot at the Adirondack Bank Center, Ray?
Yes, we do.
It's quite the experience.
It was pretty big back about 10 years ago with Utica University hockey, but I've seen it a lot less lately. And think about that, how well this community supports its sports teams. The Utica Comets in the AHL. The Utica University Pioneers, NCAA Division III, and they're still putting over 3,000 a night in this building, leading the country at that level of hockey competition. And of course, Utica City FC. It's been a busy, busy wintertime here. That, of course, all started off the support of the fans and the community here, bringing about the MASL Combine to town before the start of this season as well. And, of course, KC, what a wonderful sports town.
Comets led the league in attendance for the second consecutive year. Big fan bases. These two teams have been 1 and 2. And the atmosphere, it's a great place for a home player to play, but if you're a visiting player, you want that level of energy. Feed off of that.
Lennis off the side of his foot. Marquez getting down to brass tacks. And winning time here in this fourth quarter. It's 6-5. Double to the ball, left-hand side. Ronaldinho, a nice job to pressure the ball. Long try from beyond the third line, up and out of play. Great job by Marquez there to hold the ball up as long as he did along that left side.
They've seen enough of Marquez too, solo, and so I think you'll start seeing more double team.
Great player, Rion Marquez. 25-point regular season. That's, in any year, pretty great. If you're a player that can call a 25-point season a bad year, you're a pretty great player.
He was struggling at the beginning of the season, came up big near the end, like this team has.
Reggett, a little bit of hand fighting down the middle with NDI. Roberts with a block.
And it was huge because Souza was sizing up one of his patented bench shots into the back post, and I think he had it there if it wasn't blocked.
Reggett backing down NDI. Bond rolling over for the double. That moves it along to Ray Lee. At midfield, Palmer out of Kingston, Jamaica. Reggett off the corner boards. Centering feed is accounted for by Andrew Coughlin, the native of Syracuse. 7th in the league in GAA and in save percentage. Best save percentage for the regular season in his career.
Good tackle. Still won the ball back.
Hard hit in the corner on Hundelt. Ramon Palmer, his arms fully extended afterwards.
Kyle Trimble was right there, and UCFC has already used their challenge flag. Good job to battle through that, and Trimble was right there. I've seen less called for it too, but as we said in the first half, it's going to have to be egregious.
Kelvin's cross is headed away. Ramon Palmer, moments after the collision, able to make the play defensively. Now they'll look back to Andrew Coughlin. Settled by Holloman, not for long.
Giveaway.
Andreas.
Oh, and he missed
Shot
it.
it wide. Coughlin with an aggressive posture, knowing there wasn't much more that he had at his disposal.
We'll see if KC regrets that, Ray.
Kelvin upended by Ramirez. Robert Palmer, sliding challenge on him by NDI. Down went Ramirez as well. Kelvin is still down in the neutral zone.
So giveaway to Andreas. Coughlin forced him out wide, and I don't think he looked up at the goal when Andreas took it. He just hit it wide. He was looking down at the ball, wide open, put the right amount of pace on it so he wouldn't hit it too high, but it's situations like that that you don't think about at the time that can come back to something you regret there as the game heads into the final minutes.
Kelvin Oliveira helped up to his feet. Nicolau Neto, good sportsmanship, going out to check and make sure that he's okay.
I was talking to Nicolau Neto. Apparently he has played or scrimmaged against Oliveira back in Brazil. So many Brazilians in this league. A little bit of a familiarity there, but not much.
(6-5). Kansas City had a 4-goal run in the third quarter. That was broken up by Ronaldinho. And here we sit 6-5, early fourth. Ray Lee down along the far boards. Free kick for the Comets.
It was a simple foul, no boarding there. Fans didn't like the call, but most times, Ray, when a player goes in or near the boards, you're going to get something called.
Ray Lee coming off a pretty prolific offensive season. 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 points through the 24-game regular season campaign.
There's a lot of players in this league that get accused of embellishment, particularly by other fans. Ray Lee's not really in that category. He's a tough player, hard-nosed player.
Ignacio Flores on the restart. Lowers that right into Marquez, who can do his dirty work in the corner. He's as good as anyone in the league at that.
Good save.
Sharp angle shot, save made by Coughlin. The rebound stuffed wide. Trying to swipe it home was Raggett, but it was ripped away. Soma looking back post for the slider. That was Bond, and it just eluded him. Some dangerous and crafty looking chances on both sides. Raggett trying a little sidewinder there at the other end. Some aerial acrobatics.
Comets lost a little bit of discipline there. Everybody pressing in the box. Patented UCFC counter going the other way. Almost resulted in a tying goal.
Kelvin looking to feed middle, and Fernandez never got to it before Vandegrift, who was well positioned. Up and out of play, and it will be KC ball.
Mentioned Leo Costa a few times. UCFC GM Tommy Tanner tried hard to sign him, and I think it was between UCFC and Kansas City. He ultimately chose to come to Kansas City, but he's been one of the promising rookies across the league this season.
Rion Marquez right back to work in that physical side of his game. Nelson Santana, 5'8", 170 pounds, low center of gravity. And he's like wrestling a bear in the octagon if you're up against him one-on-one. He is tenacious. And that hunger, that spirit, kind of his never say die attitude is what keeps him in this league into his mid-40s.
You mentioned championship pedigree. 3 championships total, 2 with Baltimore, 1 with San Diego. He knows how to win big games.
Kelvin, little back heel flick. That finds Fernandez. Fernandez, a clutch performer. Utica might look to him late. 4 game-winning goals, tied for second in the regular season in the MASL.
You talked about roster differences between last year's playoff team. What an amazing collection of talent that Everton and Tommy Tanner put together on this team. And there are players that you're going to be calling their names for years here, Ray.
Absolutely. The new blood that they've brought in with guys like Milton De Andrade, who's now with the futsal national team. For starters, Steven Fernandez is another one. Keaton Woods, who powers the ball forward. And ends up on his backside, his posterior. Free kick awarded to Utica City in the neutral zone with 9:02 left. Emmanuel Belliard fresh into this.
There's another name.
Roster this season. He's really terrific. Out of the futsal ranks, Dominican Republic national team, although he did not go to Central America for this one this year.
Foul on Holloman. Anything near the boards in any arena in this league, the home fans are going to want it too.
That is correct, as Holloman pressures Gerson. It is a free kick for Utica. Inside the plus third, if you will. The attacking side of the ball. Eastern Conference semis, game 2. NDI, Bond tried to go for it, and it was blocked away. I think Andreos got that with his belly.
What a Wallace score opportunity there, almost worked.
Lifted from out of the corner and now accounted for by KC. Garza. Back to Andreos. 8.5 to play in the fourth. 6-5 KC. And Andrew Coughlin will scoop it up and roll it out.
Open goal.
Ignacio Flores heads this forward. Ramon Palmer down behind the play.
Almost.
And pulling one to the near post was Acosta. Just missed it wide. Ramon. One of the two Palmers on this side, both having terrific campaigns, Ramon and Robert. The pride of Kingston, Jamaica.
College teammates, knew each other in Jamaica, played together in college, played together in the pros.
Danger in front. Coughlin down and out, and Flores puts it away. Ignacio Flores, it's his world, and in this series, we've been living in it. Hat-trick goal for Flores.
10 seconds.
And that doubles up the Kansas City lead. We'll step away for our fourth quarter break on Golazo. Ignacio Flores is on a heater in this conference semifinal series for the Kansas City Comets. His hat trick has the Comets up 7-5 on the road.
It was just a difficult roller there for Coughlin on the first one. Nice layoff there by Reggett. Coughlin's absolutely going to want this back as it kind of fumbled through his hands. What do they teach you in kids soccer, Ray? Follow the ball, follow your shot.
Yeah, and after that, he kind of just looked down and out like he didn't have really much capability to make that extra lunge to go get it. And Ignacio Flores, undoubtedly to this point, the player of the series. 5 goals over the 2 games. And he's got KC up by 2. Zach Reggett picks up the assist. And Reggett has a couple of goals tonight for Kansas City. So it's Utica chasing the game. They led early.
Comets have only lost once since Nacho became the captain of the team.
Looking for an 8th victory in a row. And you want to talk about streaky. This Kansas City team throughout the year was about as up and down as it gets. The highest of highs, the lowest of lows to get here.
And they looked dejected. You called their game here in Utica earlier this season. This was in the middle of their streak, and they were struggling psychologically as a team. Different vibe.
Vandergrift, disruptive, swings that out to his wing. Across to Reggett. What a sliding block there by Alava. KC will reset. 6:15 left in the fourth. Alava turned over to Acosta. Sliding at it is Alava. Foul called.
Kudos to Ramon Palmer. He had been the captain, and he's played better since relinquishing that armband to Nacho Flores. that's a sign of professionalism when you can say, here, I'm handing this over to you. Now go.
Bond finds a seam. It's Roberts. And to Keaton Woods. Downfield, Bond. Sandwiched in the double and got turned around.
No foul called here.
Summa, off-balance shot, just misses high.
Nacho saw Coughlin off his line and he decided why not go for 4 and hit it into his own teammate.
5:27 left in the fourth.
We'll keep an eye on the UCFC bench to see if they want to go to the 6 attacker, maybe just a smidge early. Down 2 goals.
Hundel. NDI to Isak Summa. Back across to Dylan Hundel. He's played for St. Louis. He's played for Orlando. You may remember the old Seawolves franchise.
Gordy Gerson played there.
Yes, he did. And I think he is their all-time leading scorer. Last year, Gerson, 41 points, a franchise record that has since been broken or tied by Nilton de Andrade, as a shot just goes over the bar at the other end for Ramon Palmer.
Good transition play there by Kansas City. Almost 3-goal lead. They've got a few almost this game, Ray.
De Andrade has 41 points at the moment, but of course is not available because he's on national team duty. And Frank Taillou, 49 points this year, a new franchise record.
Fast forward when you put all the pieces together. Could you imagine an offense with Taillou, Gerson, De Andrade, and Oliveira?
Oh, it would be absolutely remarkable. Robert Palmer stings one from distance. That's blocked. Reggett will park it along the left side boards under the watchful eye of Hundel. And oh, by the way, those two, top 2 goal scorers in a single regular season in Utica City FC franchise history as well, at least in their life as the Utica franchise. Of course, we've got to acknowledge how we got here. They were the Syracuse Silver Knights before this.
Foul's going to be called on Reggett. 3:38 left, nervous time here. Still no sign of a 6 attacker. The thing about Coughlin, though, he is so good with his feet, he can almost play up like a 6 attacker. And so UCFC has options. They're going to call timeout, though. Tommy Tanner making the sign. And we're going to get 6 attacker pretty soon here, Ray.
Yeah, that looks to be imminent. They like Gio Alvis in that role. Tommy Tanner has called timeout. And, of course, being a team timeout, we will keep it right here with you at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. If you like what you're seeing tonight, want to follow the MASL on social media, you get the latest news on your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, MASL Arena on Twitter. And maybe, just maybe, if you scroll through the timeline long enough, you can pick a new favorite team if you don't have one already. Also following this game, MASL Monday, with Alex Bastiavansky and Phil Levanko. They're joined each week by special guests. This week it happens to be us. Look at us, we're special guests.
We're special. and Phil Levanko's in the house. He's going to make this all work, he says.
Well, at least we're bringing the hair to MASL Monday, am I right?
We were. And speaking of Phil Levanko, he has another show in this league.
Yes, he does, under review. If you disagree with a call tonight, you just might see it on the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review. Catch it every Friday. Again, find those links at maslsoccer.com if those programs so interest you.
And his co-host, Ryan Sikic, in the house too, so it's like an MASL love fest here at the Adirondack Bank Center tonight, Ray.
Are we going to have like a super show with cameos like the Super Bowl halftime show or something?
There are people here. There are all sorts of MASL staffers in the house. What a tremendous venue for indoor soccer. This is my first time here. I hope it's not my last. Would love to be invited here. And thanks to Ray and everybody in UCFC who's made me feel so welcome here tonight.
It's been an honor working with you, and we're looking forward to the finish here, 7-5. The extra attacker is on for Utica City FC. And wearing the black kit is Gio Alvis. Reggett in an advanced area. Utica has to swarm to him here. They do. Fernandez.
Giveaway.
Giveaway, some miscommunication as Gerson was kind of just parked at center flat-footed. Didn't seem to be totally aware of what exactly was happening coming out of the back. And it's tough to tell who was not on the same page there.
Great collection there.
Gio Alvis, a sure-handed play, having to play back with goalkeeper privileges inside the box. And now Alvis will come forward. 2:50 left, fourth quarter. 7-5. Can Utica pull closer? Or does Kansas City close this out? Reggett. High arcing ball. Got too excited there, perhaps.
Oh, the
Flores
foul's going to
down
be
the
called
wing.
first. So the ball hit off the superstructure, but a whistle blew first. Reggett's on the ground. Foul's going to be called against UCFC.
And this is a pretty high ceiling in here overall. I mean, it's not as high as some NHL, NBA arenas or anything like that, but it's still fairly high ceiling.
And Neto hit the scoreboard in overtime last year. Isn't that what led to the play? This scoreboard's not nearly as low. If you get a chance to go watch a game in Mesquite, Texas, that is something you have to deal with if you're a goalkeeper. But here, definitely not anything out of the realm in terms of arena layout.
And if I can, one of the things that makes this arena special is we will get a challenge flag from Stefan Stokic. He has just utilized his challenge. You see him right there in the black long sleeve. Curious to see exactly what he is putting on the table for the challenge.
We shall take a look. Dylan Hundelt has questions himself, the UCFC captain.
Seemed like that conversation was pretty brief. It was like 2 words to Hundelt there before he went back to the bench, so.
Take a look at it on video review.
A potential blue card on that little deal there with Kelvin just outside the zone.
So we'll take another look at it. Ball goes to Marquez, and Reggett's wanting to send Nacho long, and I think what they're arguing is it was a goal-scoring opportunity. However, the ball hit off the superstructure. It wasn't going anywhere. I'm not sure about this one, Ray. Now, granted, they have a challenge left. There's 2:37 left in regulation, so why not use it? But they're going to say nope. Free kick, Kansas City. Nothing really risked there for Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to use it, you might as well.
Coughlin's going to come back out with Kansas City in possession. Time is the enemy of UCFC. Comets will look maybe to knock the ball around here and run some more clock down.
2:37 left in the fourth. And the challenge has been rejected. Robert Palmer will do the honors of restarting play with 2:37 left. Utica down by 2. Can they get even, or does Kansas City have another ace card they'd like to throw on the poker table?
Kansas City could send it back to Neto and call timeout, but they're just going to put the ball down the field.
Comets have definitely taken command in the second half, relatively speaking. They've overturned the deficit that they once had with that big 4-goal run that they had in the third quarter.
6 attackers going to come back. Coughlin literally jumps over into his bench.
Long chip downfield, Holloman. That will miss wide. Alvis hammers it off
Dangerous.
the end boards. That's dangerous. He gets himself out of trouble. A Houdini-like escape for the extra attacker, Alvis. In the eye, Fernandez. Bumped away by Vandegrift. And Fernandez angles that backwards. Kelvin.
Good job by Vandegrift reading that.
Vandegrift downfield. That will be well wide. A foot race, though. Fernandez needs to be careful
What
as
a great
Coughlin comes
sub
back
by
on.
Coughlin to create just a little bit of hesitancy for Ramon Palmer. Very well read there by Coughlin, and they'll come back with 6 attacker.
Brilliant job by Alvis, Coughlin, and also Casey Murphy and Tommy Tanner. They did that perfectly.
Foul's going to be called here. Oliveira got taken down. 1:19 remaining in regulation.
That was 3D chess level situational awareness by those guys.
It's understanding of the rules, understanding of the situation. That was terrific.
I'm bad at chess, by the way.
Just had to say that, huh?
Yes,
Okay.
on occasion I let my personality shine a touch, I guess. I'm a pretty boring guy these days, outside of this. NDI, Fernandez to the middle, Bond pushed down.
Good play there to keep the ball in.
Holloman trying to muscle it downfield a moment ago. Alvis back to get it in his own third line. It's now or never for Utica. They have to score 2 in under 60 seconds.
Kansas City's going to drop back here.
Kansas City on the precipice of advancing if Utica does not do something about it now. Fernandez, Alvis, back to Fernandez. Kelvin, Fernandez,
Big
off
block
of
by
Holloman.
Holloman.
And back by Vandegrift. 11 seconds left. NDI coming forward. That's blocked away. With 6 seconds left, a shot for the empty net. Reggett will miss it wide. Revenge is a dish best served with barbecue sauce for Kansas City. The Comets sweep with a 7-5 win here in Utica to wrap up the series and advance to the conference finals.
What a big win for Kansas City. They exercised that demon from last season, Ray. That loss hurt. And they go on to play Milwaukee in the next round.
So our conference finals are set. We'll step away on Galazzo.
Fans, we hope you enjoyed your evening with us, and thank you for supporting Utica City FC all season long. For Utica City FC, the Adirondacks Bank Center, this is your public address announcer, Tim Metz saying good night, and please arrive home safely.
As one door closes, another opens here at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. For Utica City FC, the door is shut on the 2023-24 season as they are eliminated while the door opens for Kansas City to move on to the conference final. The team gathering for our group picture on the heels of a 7-5 win. That'll be one happy dressing room tonight. I'm Ray Biggs. He's Eric Bergrud. Welcome to the postgame on CBS Sports Golazo. Eric, let's start big picture here. Your thoughts on these 4 quarters of play?
Everything looked good at the start for UCFC. They were playing the game they wanted to, the transition, but Kansas City took an early timeout, made all the difference.
And it was 4-2 at the outset of the third quarter with this power play goal. It's Mo Ndiaye, his second power play goal of these playoffs.
And we thought, okay, momentum coming into the third, but Kansas City closed the door there and then went on a tear.
And they rattled off not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 unanswered, sparked by Zach Regan.
He came up big, and even Chad Vandergrift getting one here, followed his own shot in.
With a little bit of help from Lennis as well, the promising rookie. And the pressure stayed on as Ignacio Flores volleys home a beauty.
Man of the match, big-time hat trick.
No doubt, sometimes the offense coming from less expected places, including Ramirez. The exclamation point on a 4-goal run that ultimately gave KC a 6-4 lead. A goal by either side to round out the matchup. Flores, the hat trick goal, the only one of the fourth quarter, and it was 7-5. Kansas City, the final score.
Great season for UCFC. This team is going to be a prohibitive favorite in terms of one of the teams you'll expect to see to move up the tables next season with all the firepower they're going to bring back on offense, right?
For sure. Kansas City, the better team in this series when it counted. Utica, a promising future ahead. 7-5 the score. We'll send it back to our Golazo studios where John Brickley and Ian Joy are standing by.